All right, good afternoon. Once again, we're on the subject of diode, or diodes rather. And in previous session, we looked at the application of the diode in rectifiers. We saw it in operation as a multiplier, phase detector in diode arrays. We have calculated diode voltages, diode currents. We found that a real diode, an ID diode, a diode in essence has about 0.7 volts and operates as a 0.7 volt battery. When it is short circuit, instead of 0 volts as we normally take it to be. And different diodes made out of different material. We have silicon diode, and that's the characteristic of silicon diode. It's approximately 0.7 volts. You have a Schottky diode, probably about 2.5 volts. You have a germanium diode, probably about another 2 volts there. But different materials making up the diodes, we see that they have different characteristics for the diode voltages. One of the things we'll look at today is the diode capacitance and the effect of temperature on the diode. Alright, so for this diode capacitance, we say now that, alright, let us draw a sort of junction here. Circuit. Voltage in the reverse direction. Call this the depletion region, P junction, N junction. So what happens? Electrons openly moving away from this junction here. We call it the depletion region. The holes on the side are moving in this direction. And the effect is that the holes and the electrons are occupying this space. When the electron moves so, as it being that it has a negative charge, it leaves a residual sort of a positive charge in the region that it moves away from. And likewise, the holes, as it move away from this region into over in this direction, it leaves a positive charge here. So here it becomes positive, here it becomes negative. And that the length of this the depletion region is proportional to the applied reverse voltage. So that to increase the voltage, we increase the depletion region. Alright, now it is this effect here that gives the diode its capacitance. And we call this now the reverse bias transition capacitance. C-A-P-A-C-I-T-A-N-C. Yes, the reverse bias transition capacitance. I know this reverse bias transition capacitance increases as the voltages increase in the reverse bias case. And we'll see that in the forward bias case, it decreases the length and increases the capacitance. So we look at both the forward bias and the reverse bias sense. In the forward bias sense, we call it the storage capacitance. And in the reverse bias, when the reverse voltage is applied, we call it the reverse bias transition capacitance. All right. Okay, let's write the equation for this capacitance, reverse transition capacitance. It is now that CR is equal now to CC. This is the capacitance due to the diode case, plus C0, the capacitance when VR is equal to 0, over 1 plus 2 times the reverse voltage to the end. And then it's found to be either a half or 1/3. Yeah, so that this reverse bias transition capacitance, CFR, is approximately, I should say, equal to CFC plus the capacitance when VFR equals 0. And this is the capacitance due to the diode case. And 1 plus 2 VRN to the power of n, where n is a half or 1/3. Now, if we look at the curve for this reverse bias transition capacitance, we'll see that basically it is a non-linear, but for our sense, it can be taken as a linear, right? We'll say that, suppose we said this is now C plus C0. And this is now the curve was yeah, so this is the approximate curve for the capacitance, reverse bias transition capacitance. And it is basically, can be approximated if you look at this. It's a straight line. Somewhere you can get the optimal straight line too. Yeah. So it is, although it is non-linear, it is usually taken to be linear. Now this reverse bias transition capacitance, this can be a values, say, of about 5 picofarads. 5 picofarads for high speed diode, and for high current diode, it could have 500 picofarads. So it can become very large. An high current rectifier diodes. Let's see, the high current rectifier diodes. We have the value for the reverse bias transition capacitance as much as 500 picofarad. Whereas in, say, a high-speed diode, you could have the value of the capacitance to be, say, 5 picofarad. That's a difference of 5 to 500 there, which is like what? 5 into 100 times. Okay, so this is basically looking at the characteristic effect of the capacitance of a diode. We see now that it has a dynamic resistance, which is normally taken as about 25 milliohms at 1 milliamps at 300 degrees Kelvin. You could check me on that. That is the dynamic resistance of a diode, one at 1 milliamps at a temperature of about 300 degrees K. It's thought to get about 25 ohms, milliohms. And here we found the diode voltage to be not zero, but rather the diode acting as a 0.7 volts battery for the silicon base, and different value of voltage for other cases for which different materials are used, for germanium, silicon, what are the materials that we are using for diodes here. We have Schottky diodes, we have Zener diodes, we have platinum when you mix it with platinum. Anyhow, such is the case. Now look, just look at this thing. This is for the reverse bias. Look at it for the forward bias. For the forward bias case, the capacitance now, we say that if tau was the time taken for an electron to move from one vacant place to the other vacant place. If tau was the time taken for an electron to move through vacancies, then we would say that that current I would be equal to Q times tau, where Q is the charge. But we found out that this current I is equal to I0 e to the V diode over Vt. So that now if say the storage capacitance CFS, if we CFS as the storage capacitance in the case of the forward bias, you know, the previous one was for reverse bias, this is now for forward bias. And we know that in the forward bias case, as we increase the voltage, the depletion region decreases. And as the depletion region increases, the capacitance increase. So that's the difference. In the forward sense, in the reverse sense, as we increase the voltage, the depletion region L increases. In the forward sense, as we increase the voltage, the depletion region decreases and the capacitance increase. And this capacitance is called the storage capacitance. CFS is now equal to dq by dVd, and this would be, if we differentiate dq by dVd, we'll get, this would be 1 over t, we will get id over Vt. So that is for the storage capacitance in the forward bias sense. Now, for tau equals 1, and ID equals 1 milliamps, CFS can be equal to about 40 picofarads. And this is capacitor that limits the switching speed on the logic circuits. Yeah, this forward bias capacitance, storage capacitance, that limit the switching speed in logic circuits. Okay, So that's basically the capacitance or the capacitive effect of diodes reversed by transition capacitance and storage capacitance.